Welcome back to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, your host, and as always, the CEO of Academia IDU, here to walk you through fascinating research from all corners of the scholarly universe. Today, wow, we have something pretty unique. A deep dive into the world of Islamic spiritual practice, Sufi tradition, and what you could call the architecture of the soul. We're exploring the work TAQARIR AL-TARIQAT, authored by Jalaluddin Ahmad al-Rawi. Now heads up, as always, I'm here to present this paper neutrally. I'm not endorsing its religious or spiritual claims, just guiding you through what the research says and giving you the tools to think about it. Cool? Alright, so what's the core question at play here? Jalaluddin Ahmad al-Rawi tackles something honestly pretty big. How does the Naqshbandiyyah Mujaddidiyya Sufi order teach and guide the purification of the inner self, what's called batin, using layers of meditative practice, remembrance, zikir and mentorship under a spiritual guide or murshid? Why does this matter? I mean, if you're interested in Sufi spirituality, personal development, or interfaith studies, understanding these structured step-by-step methods of inner refinement can give you brand new insight into how Muslims have traditionally approached their own spiritual psychology. And hey, even if you're just curious about comparative mysticism, this paper, it goes deep. How does al-Rawi answer this? Let's break it down. The paper begins by warning readers, don't go it alone. Spiritual practices in this view need guidance from an authorized teacher because according to Sufi tradition, self-guided efforts may bring more harm than benefit. I guess kind of like trying to fix your own car engine with YouTube and ending up breaking things worse. I've been there a few times. Anyway, he explains the three methods Sufis are told to use for inner cleansing. Zikir ismu zat, the remembrance of God's supreme name. Muraqabah, a mindfulness or meditation-like vigilance of the heart. And Rabita Shaykh, establishing a heart connection with the spiritual guide. Each of these methods is broken into even more steps. Think of it almost like levels in a spiritual game, but, you know, for the soul. And here's what's really distinctive. The system's built on the concept of lataif, secret subtle centers in the body or aspects of the self, like qalb, heart, ruh, spirit, sir, secret, kafi, hidden, akfa, most hidden, and so forth. Each stage has physical points on the body, symbolic meanings, different zikir techniques, and recognizable signs when you've progressed, sort of like an inner map. You meditate, you focus, you imagine divine light entering these points, and as this process unfolds, your character and outlook are supposed to transform. Someone might go from anger or selfishness to patience, charity, or a loving, God-centered life, again according to this tradition. The journey is long and multi-layered. There's lots about fana, a dissolution of ego, baka, subsisting in the divine, and degrees of spiritual unveiling or kashf, all under the close observation and help of the Sufi master. So at every stage, the effectiveness or shortcomings are checked with your guide. One of my favorite bits in this paper, okay, little digression, is where al-Rawi describes how these subtle flashes of insight or warmth in the heart aren't always mystical fireworks. They're sometimes more like being gently shaken out of sleep. That's, I think, a really relatable image, and also a bit of a letdown if you're after something, I don't know, more Marvel movie-like. But that's mysticism for you. The latter parts of the paper get super technical. We hear about advanced states, group practices, even stories of journeys to sacred places, and the powerful effect of simply being in the company of spiritual peers. There's a lot of poetry and metaphor, rivers of meaning in every syllable of the Quran, the comparison of the soul's journey to a climb up from the animal self toward something gently illuminated and, cosmic. The overall method, it's rigorous, gradual, rooted in daily discipline, humility, submission to tradition, and community. If you're listening right now and thinking, well, what the heck does that mean for me? Great question. Whether you're interested in applying some of these techniques to your own spiritual practice, or you're just reflecting on how different societies have mapped out inner growth, al-Rawi's text offers a reminder there's no single or simple path to deeper self-knowledge. The interplay of guidance, discipline, imagination, and self-awareness is honestly pretty universal, even if the language and imagery are deeply specific to Islamic Sufism. So, wrapping up, TAQARIR AL-TARIQAT is a thick, sometimes winding, always earnest spiritual manual. It's devotional, but it's methodical, detailed, and above all, reflective. It doesn't claim to offer absolute truth. It's one voice in a long tradition, offering readers a chance to explore and question their own relationship with the divine, the self, and others. That's all for today. Thanks for joining me on In Depth with Academia. Remember, research isn't the last word. It's an invitation to think, and who knows, maybe even to grow. See you next time.